Tonight, let us drift into the calm embrace of the sea. Imagine the ocean at night. Endless waves move slowly under the silver light of the moon. Far away, to the east of Japan, lies a place wrapped in mystery, a place whispered about in legends. It is called the Dragon's Triangle. Some call it Asia's Bermuda Triangle, an area where ships vanish, where airplanes disappear, where mysteries linger, like mist above the waves. As you listen now, breathe slowly, in and out. This is not only a story, it is also an invitation to rest, to wonder, to surrender to the quiet of the night. In this bedtime documentary, we will explore the history of the Dragon's Triangle. We will listen to the stories of ships and planes that never returned. We will reflect on the theories, both natural and supernatural, that try to explain the unknown. And we will see how this mystery continues to shape human imagination. But tonight, you do not need to solve anything. You only need to drift deeper into stillness. Before we begin, let me ask you gently, if this journey feels soothing, if the rhythm of these words feels like a safe harbor, please leave a small sign of your presence, a gentle touch on the like button, a quiet subscription to this channel, or even a comment, sharing what mysteries you dream about. Small gestures that keep us sailing together, night after night. Now, let us return to the waves. The sea is waiting, and somewhere beyond the horizon, the Dragon's Triangle begins. Now that the sea has welcomed us into its stillness, let us gently open a new page. Before we speak of disappearances and mysteries, we must first know the place itself, where it rests upon the map, how it was once imagined in the minds of sailors, and when the modern world first began to notice its presence. The Dragon's Triangle rests quietly in the Pacific Ocean off the eastern coast of Japan. If you were to sail outward from Tokyo Bay, past the familiar curve of Honshu, and onward beyond the Izu Islands, you would find yourself moving toward this region. Continue farther south, near the remote Bonin Islands, and you would be within the waters that sailors long ago began to describe with unease. It is not marked by borders or fences. The ocean has no lines, only vastness. Yet those who chart the seas know that somewhere in this triangle-shaped expanse, strange things are said to occur. For centuries, Japanese sailors navigated these waters. Fishing vessels, merchant boats, and explorers all passed through the area, and with them came stories, quiet warnings shared from one crew to another, tales of sudden storms that seemed to rise from nowhere, currents that pulled ships away from their intended path, moments when compasses spun without reason, leaving sailors uncertain of their direction. At times, there were whispers of things more mysterious still, lights that flickered across the horizon, or shadows moving beneath the surface of the waves. In the oldest legends, this part of the ocean was spoken of with respect, even fear. Some said it was guarded by dragons, creatures of the deep who stirred the waters when disturbed. Others believed that powerful spirits roamed here, unseen but ever present, guiding or misleading those who dared to cross. These were not written in books at first, but passed down by voice, like soft echoes of the sea itself. For a sailor setting out on a long voyage, such stories were not entertainment, but warnings to be taken seriously. As centuries passed and Japan entered the modern age, the Dragon's Triangle began to appear in official records. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, as navigation grew more precise and international trade expanded, reports of unusual events in these waters became more widely known. Ship captains noted unexplained equipment failures. Fishermen described seeing vessels vanish into fog, never to reappear. And with each account, the legend deepened. Perhaps the most important milestone came in the mid-20th century. In 1952, the Japanese government sent a research vessel into the area, Kaio Maru No. 5. Its mission was to study the region and uncover why so many disappearances had been reported there. But tragically, the ship itself was lost, along with all 31 crew members. No wreckage was found. No final message was received. The very vessel sent to investigate the mystery had become a part of it. The ocean. It has always carried stories of things that vanish. Boats leaving harbor, never seen again. Planes that rise into the sky and do not return. And here, in the Dragon's Triangle, such stories are told again and again. Long before modern records, fishermen spoke of companions lost at sea. A small vessel would set out in calm weather, its sails bright against the horizon. But by nightfall, no word would come back. The sea was vast, yes, but the silence was heavier than distance. Families waited on the shore, staring toward the water, waiting for shadows that never arrived. As time moved forward and ships grew larger, the disappearances did not end. In the early 20th century, several Japanese cargo vessels were reported missing in this region. Strong ships carrying goods and crew, sailing established routes, yet slipping away as if erased from the map. No wreckage floated back. No distress calls were heard. Only the memory of departure without return. There are records of vessels seen drifting without crew, empty decks washed clean by salt and time. Some sailors claimed they boarded these ghostly ships, finding meals half-eaten, lanterns still burning, but no living soul. Was it storm, currents, or something that took the men, leaving only the husk of a vessel behind? No one could answer, and so the legend deepened. It was not only ships. The air above the triangle carried its own silence. Pilots, flying from Japan toward the Philippines, sometimes reported strange interference. Compasses flickered, radios cut off, and in some cases, entire planes vanished. The ocean received them and kept them. Search crews scoured the waters, but returned with nothing but waves. Perhaps the most haunting story is the one written in official record, the case of Kaio Maru No. 5. In 1952, the Japanese government wished to understand why so many vessels were disappearing in this region. So they sent a research ship. 31 men boarded, scientists and crew, carrying equipment to measure the sea. Their mission? To map, to study, to bring clarity. But clarity never came. Somewhere within the triangle, Kaio Maru No. 5 was lost. No call for help, no fragment of wood, no trace of the men. 31 lives swallowed in silence. The very vessel sent to investigate the mystery had become a part of it. For Japan, the loss was more than a story. It was grief. Families waited, but no news arrived. The ocean gave nothing back. And for the world, it was confirmation. The Dragon's Triangle was not only a tale told by sailors at night, it was a place of real danger. It could claim even the prepared, even the cautious. Since then, the list of vanishings has only grown. Fishing boats, cargo ships, airplanes. Some were never seen again. Others were found, broken and drifting without answers. Each case became another thread woven into the fabric of the legend. Imagine the scene. A pilot watching the horizon, instruments failing one by one, radio silent, the sea below stretching endlessly until nothing more is heard. Or a ship, its crew standing on deck, watching a storm form where the sky had been clear, waves rising, wind howling, and then nothing. To those who hear these stories, fear is natural. But in the rhythm of night, they sound less like warnings and more like lullabies of the unknown. The Dragon's Triangle is not cruel in its silence. It is simply vast. And in its vastness, lives are sometimes gathered into mystery. What remains today are not answers, but echoes. The sound of a vessel's horn, remembered but not heard. The image of a plane's silver wings fading into cloud. The faces of men who left but did not return. All carried by the sea into the depths where only silence remains. And so the disappearances continue to breathe in memory. Some call them tragedies, others puzzles waiting to be solved. But here, in this calm night, they are simply stories. Stories told softly, like ripples on the water, inviting us to listen, to wonder, and to drift a little deeper into the mystery. And yet, beyond the science and beyond the myths, lies something deeper. Not in the ocean itself, but in the hearts and minds of those who tell its story. For the Dragon's Triangle is not only a place on the map, it is a shadow in culture and in memory. The ocean has given us stories of loss and silence. But every mystery invites an answer. And for the Dragon's Triangle, the answers take many forms. Some rise from the earth itself, natural explanations offered by science. Others rise from imagination, born in the human need to explain the unknown. Both breathe life into the legend. Natural explanations beneath the waters of the Dragon's Triangle. The earth is not still. This region lies along the Ring of Fire, a circle of volcanic activity that stretches across the Pacific. Volcanoes rest on the seabed here, sleeping, but never silent. At times, they stir. Eruptions can shake the ocean floor, releasing ash, steam, and violent waves. For a ship caught nearby, such forces can mean sudden disaster. There is also the matter of methane. Deep below the seabed, pockets of methane gas form under pressure. When released, the gas can rise quickly through the water. If a large bubble bursts beneath a vessel, the water's density drops. A ship, once held afloat, may suddenly lose its support and sink without warning. Some scientists believe that such eruptions may explain why strong ships vanished, leaving no distress calls, only silence. And then there are the currents. The Pacific is alive with moving water, powerful streams that circle the islands of Japan. These currents can twist suddenly, dragging vessels off course, or pulling wreckage far from where it began. To search for a ship in such waters is to chase shadows. The sea carries its secrets away. Paranormal ideas. But not all are satisfied with science. Where there is mystery, imagination blossoms. Some whisper of sea monsters, creatures of the deep, larger than whales, moving unseen beneath the waves. To ancient sailors, sudden storms and vanished ships were signs of dragons. Even today, some wonder if beings beyond our knowledge may still roam the dark waters. Others speak of lights in the sky, unidentified flying objects, hovering, circling, then vanishing into the clouds. Could the triangle be a place where worlds meet? A passage for visitors from beyond? And there are those who dream of portals, gateways hidden within the sea, openings into another time, another dimension. A ship sails through and simply does not return, not because it sank, but because it slipped away into elsewhere. These ideas live more in imagination than in proof. But imagination has its own power. It shapes the way we see and the way we fear. Comparison with the Bermuda Triangle. It is not surprising that many compare the Dragon's Triangle with another mystery far across the world, the Bermuda Triangle. Both are regions of ocean, both said to swallow ships and planes. Both inspire stories of science and stories of the supernatural. And both remind us that the sea is vast and our knowledge small. Yet there are differences. The Bermuda Triangle lies in the Atlantic, between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. It is warm, shallow, and close to busy trade routes. The Dragon's Triangle, by contrast, rests in the Pacific, east of Japan. Its waters are deep, restless with volcanic fire, and marked by legends that stretch back centuries. In each, we find the same pattern: disappearances, theories, and the human need to explain. Some cling to science, others to myth, and together they create a story that endures. And yet, beyond the science and beyond the myths, lies something deeper. Not in the ocean itself, but in the hearts and minds of those who tell its story. For the Dragon's Triangle is not only a place on the map, it is a shadow in culture and in memory. The Dragon's Triangle has traveled far beyond the waves. It has reached the minds of writers, artists, and filmmakers. Its tales are whispered in books, shown on screens, and retold around quiet fires. Each story carrying the mystery forward into human imagination. In Japan, sailors have always shared their experiences carefully, cautiously. Warnings passed along, tales of strange lights, sudden storms, vanished ships. Even today, these stories linger in conversation, in old ports, where the scent of salt water mixes with memories. The ocean may be vast, but the lessons it leaves are closer, personal, and enduring. Authors have taken the Dragon's Triangle from whispered legend to written word. Novels explore the fear, the uncertainty, the allure of the unknown. Documentaries, with slow music and drifting narration, invite audiences to feel the sea, the silence, the tension. Through these mediums, the triangle becomes more than geography. It becomes emotion, a bridge between what is real and what we imagine. Psychologists suggest there is a reason humans are drawn to mysteries before sleep, stories that hint at danger but do not threaten directly, stories that let the mind wander, explore, and then let go. The Dragon's Triangle with its vanished ships, ghostly lights, and unanswered questions, offers exactly this kind of mental journey. It engages curiosity without urgency, encouraging reflection and gentle awe. Even the fear sailors once felt transforms over time. What once inspired caution now inspires fascination. The ocean itself, silent and endless, becomes a canvas for human thought, and for the imagination that dreams of both wonder and peace. In Japanese culture, the triangle is more than a maritime curiosity. It appears in art, in television, in stories told to both children and adults. It embodies respect for nature and for the unknown. It reminds people that not all things can be measured or controlled, and that some mysteries are best experienced quietly, contemplatively. This fascination extends beyond Japan. Around the world, the Dragon's Triangle attracts dreamers, explorers, and those who simply enjoy the calm thrill of a story well told. It demonstrates the universal appeal of mystery, especially when approached gently, in a way that soothes rather than alarms. And so, we find that these tales, disappearances, and unexplained events have shaped culture and influenced human thought, creating a shared space between history and imagination. It is a reminder that storytelling itself is a kind of magic, a way to keep legends alive without ever leaving the safety of one's chair or bed. As you listen tonight, allow yourself to feel the gentle pull of curiosity. Let the stories of the Dragon's Triangle wash over you, like waves, soft, rhythmic, endless. You are not required to solve anything, only to be present, to observe, and to drift a little further into the calm wonder of the unknown. And now, as the stories settle and the echoes of imagination fade gently, we return to the sea itself, to the quiet rhythm of waves, and the soft shimmer of moonlight across the water. The Dragon's Triangle remains, as it always has, a mystery, silent, vast, and still waiting. The night embraces the ocean, its surface glimmering under the silver glow of the moon. Stars scattered across the sky like distant lanterns, each one reflecting softly upon the calm water. Here, in this tranquil expanse, the stories of the Dragon's Triangle float gently, no longer urgent, no longer demanding, only present, like whispers carried on the wind. Some ships disappeared long ago. Some planes never returned. Some lives have become part of the quiet legend. And yet, the sea offers no answers. It keeps its secrets tucked beneath the waves and allows us only glimpses, only gentle hints of what may have been or what may still lie hidden. And this is the beauty of mystery. Not every question needs a solution. Not every event needs an explanation. Some things are simply meant to be experienced in thought, in imagination, in the quiet moments before sleep. As the Dragon's Triangle rests beneath the moonlight, so too can your mind. Allow yourself to drift. Allow your thoughts to wander softly, without hurry, without worry. The ocean reminds us that life itself has currents we cannot always predict, and that uncertainty can be both comforting and freeing. Some mysteries remain unsolved, and in that space, the mind can rest gently, secure in the knowledge that not all things require answers tonight. Think of the waves, lapping quietly along the unseen shores, each ripple a gentle pulse, each shimmer of light a quiet invitation to let go, to release, to surrender to the calm. Even as you imagine the triangle, with its vanished ships, its unexplained phenomena, its silent depths, remember that here, in this moment, you are safe. The ocean is vast, yes, but it is distant and peaceful. And the stories, while intriguing, are nothing more than gentle companions, guiding you slowly toward rest. Breathe in and breathe out. Let your thoughts settle like sediment. Let the tension of the day dissolve, like waves retreating into the deep. The moon watches silently. Stars twinkle softly above, and the dragon's triangle, unchanged, continues to exist, a place of wonder, of questions, of imagination. It waits patiently for the next ship, for the next story, for the next dreamer to listen and to wonder. Tonight, you have traveled its waters through words, through tales of history, of disappearance, of explanation and culture. You have wandered the currents, explored the unknown, without leaving your chair, without leaving your room, and yet you have journeyed far. As your eyes grow heavy and the rhythm of the narration slows, let the calm embrace you. Let your body and mind find stillness and drift like a small boat upon the gentle waves of sleep. Remember, some mysteries remain untouched, and that is perfectly all right. For the dragon's triangle, like the ocean, like the night, is a place for wonder, for imagination, and for rest. Now, let the quiet guide you. Let the moonlight linger softly in your thoughts. And as you sink deeper into the gentle folds of sleep, carry with you the calm, the curiosity, and the soft, endless rhythm of the sea. Sleep now, drift now, and let the mysteries of the dragon's triangle remain where they belong, far away in the quiet ocean, as you find your own peace tonight.